Hi guys, my name is Techi Richard. I'm coming
Hi
to do a
guys, my name
presentation
is
on
Techi
how to
Richard.
build
I'm coming to
some
do a
applications
presentation on
like
exceptions
calculator,
in
a
Java.
unit converter,
So
and the
guys,
rest.
let's
But
start.
today I'm going to only pick calculator. So today I'm going to build a small application like calculator. So I'm going to
Exceptions
use
in Java.
Intel IJ. So let's go.
What are exceptions in Java?
I have already
Definition.
done the
An exception is an
programming
event
code,
that
so I'm
disrupts the
coming to
normal
explain
flow
to
of
you
a
guys
program.
how I did it.
An exception in Java is
So
an event that
first
disrupts the
I right
normal
click
flow
on
of
the
execution
SRC.
in a program.
There's a pop-up
It's
menu
a
which
signal
appeared.
that
Then I
something
click
went
on
wrong,
new,
such as an
and
attempt to
under the
divide by
new
zero
another
or accessing
array
an
pop-up
invalid
also,
array index.
another
The
list also
normal
pop up.
flow of a
So I
program
click
refers
on
to
the
the
Java
sequence of
class and I name
instructions
the class
that the program
calculator. After
executes,
that I
and
press enter.
exceptions cause
So now I'm
interruptions
coming
in
to
this flow.
explain all the code that I
Why
have done
handle
on this
exceptions?
Intel
1.
IJ screen.
Prevent the program from crashing. Handling exceptions allows
So
programs to gracefully
the
recover
import
from errors without crashing.
java.util.scanner.
2. Provides
This
meaningful error
explains
messages to users or logs. It helps users to get meaningful feedback, such as
this
an
line, the
error
first
message,
line, line 1.
instead of just seeing an
It
abrupt
It tells
crash
Java
or
that we will
confusing
be using the
behavior.
scanner class,
3. Helps
which
in
is a tool
debugging.
to get input from the
Debugging.
user, like
Exception
typing
handle
something on the
is in
keyboard.
tracking down
It's part of the
issues as it divides the
java.util package,
traces and
which
error
contains
information,
useful classes
which
for
helps
working with
developers
inputs,
identify where
dates,
things went
and
wrong.
more. Let's come to our last line,
Types of
that's line 3.
exceptions.
Public
We
class
have check
calculator.
exceptions and uncheck
The public class
exceptions.
calculator here,
Check
we define the
exceptions
start
are
of our
inherent
class
from
called
exception
calculator.
class.
A class is like a blueprint
These are
or a template
exceptions
for
that are
creating
checked at
objects
compile
into
time.
bracket,
A
things
Java
that can
compiler
perform
forces
tasks.
the
In
programmer
this
to
case,
either
our
handle
class
them
will
or declare
perform
them
the
using
task
the
of a
throws
calculator.
keyword. Examples of check exceptions are IOE
Let's move on
exception,
to our line 5.
SQL
Public
exception,
static void
and the
main
rest.
into
When
bracket
it comes
string
to the
into
online
bracket
exceptions,
angst.
it inherits from runtime
This is
exception
the main
class,
method.
and these are
When we will
exceptions
run the
that
program,
are not
this is
checked
the
at
starting
compile
point where the
time.
program will begin its
You are not
execution.
required to handle
All
them,
Java
but you
programs
can
needs a
still choose
main
to handle
method to
them
start.
if you want
So
to.
line 5 is our
Example, null
main
point
method.
exception, array index out of bounds
Line 6,
exception.
scanner equal to new scanner
Differences
into
between
bracket
checked
system dot
and
in.
unchecked ex- exceptions.
We create a
Check
scanner
exceptions
object
are
called scanner. This object allows
inherit from
us to read
exception, while
input from
unchecked
the user,
exceptions are
and the
inherit from runtime
system.in
exception.
means we are getting input
Under compile
from the
time check,
keyboard. Our
check
next line, that's line 7 and
example
8. Here we
exceptions are
declare
checked
four
at compile
variables, and
time,
that's
while unchecked
num1,
exceptions
num2,
are
results,
not.
and string operator.
Handling using try
Num1
catch
and
or
num2,
throws under
they
check
are to store
exceptions.
the two numbers
Under
that the user
unchecked
will enter,
exceptions, they are not required.
and the
Examples
results.
of check
This will hold the
exceptions
answer
are
after we
IOE
perform a
exception
calculation,
and class
and
not
the
found
operator.
exceptions,
This will
while
store the
unchecked
symbol for the
exceptions
operation
examples
the
are
user
null
will
point
want,
exceptions and
like plus for
arithmetic
addition,
exception.
minus for subtraction,
Slide 5 talks about
multiplication,
the
and
exception
division
hierarchy.
sign.
Throwable, that's the root class.
Line 9 and line 10. Line 9 and
Throwable is
line
the
10.
root class for
Print
all errors
instructions to the
and
screen,
exceptions.
welcoming the user to error,
Errors are
the
serious
calculator, and
problems
explaining
that
how to
Java
use it.
applications
The
generally
program
can't
tells them
recover from,
they can enter
such
an
as
operation
out of
symbol
memory
or
error
type
and
exit to
Stack
quit.
Overflow error. Exceptions, as explained
Line
earlier,
11.
We have check
This line
exceptions and unchecked
explains
exceptions. An
the loop.
exception are the cases where you can
The
handle
line
errors
11 keeps
gracefully,
running
and they
until
are
the
further
user decides
divided
to
into
stop
the
the
check and
program.
uncheck.
While true
Example of check is
means
the
the
IOU
loop will
exceptions,
run
and uncheck is the
indefinitely
runtime
until
exception.
we tell it to stop.
This hierarchy helps you understand that not all exceptions are handled the same way. For instance,
System.out.print
errors
with
like out
brackets
of memory
slash n
error
enter
are
first number.
typically fatal and cannot be
This
handled,
asks the user to
while
type in the
exceptions can
first
be
number.
caught and managed.
This slash n ensures there is a new line before the prompt for better
Handling
readability.
exceptions. One is the try-catch block, and the try-catch
Line
block
13
is
and
used to
line
catch and
14.
handle
Check if the
exceptions
user
that
has
occur
entered
within the
a
try
valid
block. If an
number.
exception occurs,
Scanner dots
Control A transfer
hashnet
to
double
the catch
checks if
block
the
where you
input is a
can
double,
define what
which
to
can
do
have
with the
decimals.
exception.
If
Example is
it
shown
is, we
below,
store that
and this
number
is the
in num1
example. Try, then you
or
open your
else.
parenthesis, index result
If the
equal to
user
10
did
over
not enter a
0,
valid number,
then
we
you
check
print
if
your cache
they
and read
type
your
exits.
arithmetic exception E
We check if they type
system.out.print in. I will give you
exit.
example
If
after
they did, we print a
after
message
this
and use
slide.
break to stop the loop, ending the
And we
program.
have finally blocked,
If the input is
and
neither
the
a number
definition is the
nor
finally block is
exit,
used to
we print
execute
an error
important
message
code regardless
and
of
use
whether an
continue to
exception
go
is
back to
thrown,
ask for the
and
first
it is used to write code
number.
that should always run regardless of whether an exception occurred or not. It is useful for cleaning up resources such as
System.out.print
closing files or
into
databases
bracket enter
connections,
operator.
and the examples is shown below. So
This line
at
asks the
this
user to
PDF,
enter
at
an
the end,
operator
I will
like
show you
plus,
a clear example of
minus,
it.
multiplication, or division to
Throwing
specify which
exceptions
calculation they want to perform.
is one of the handles. Using throw allows you to explicitly throw an exception.
System.out.print enter
The
second
throw
number.
keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception in the program. This is useful when you want to signal an error condition in your own code, rather than waiting for
The
a
operator equal to
system-level exception.
scanner.net. This
Example,
also
this
stores
is
the
an
operator
example
that the
too.
user enters into the operator
Throw
variable.
keyword. When the definition for a throw keyword is the throw keyword is used in a method
This
signature
line
to
prompts the
indicate that
user to
the
enter the
method
second
may
number
throw
for the
certain
calculation.
exceptions during its
And
execution. An example is shown
from
below.
line
This is
30
an
to
example of a throw
31, line
keyword.
30 and 31. Also, just like the first number,
Custom
this checks if the
exceptions.
user entered a
Creating
valid number
custom
for the second
exception
number.
define a
If
new
it
exception
is, it
class by
stores the number
extending
in num2.
exception
It
or
stores the number
runtime
in num2 if
exceptions.
it is valid.
Sometimes you may want to define your own exception types to provide more meaningful error handling in your application. Custom exceptions allow you to give more
This one is
context
also
and
similar to
handle
the
specific
first one
situations
that we
more
did
appropriately.
for the
An
num1.
example is
So now let's
shown
come to our
below
switch.
it.
The switch operator.
Best practices for
This switch
exception
statement checks
handling.
the operator entered by the
The
user,
following
like
are best
plus,
practices
minus,
for exception
multiplication, or
handling.
division,
1.
and decide which
Do not
mathematical
catch
operation to
generic
perform based on the
exception
operator.
unless absolutely necessary, and it consider bad practices to catch the generic
Case
exception
addition.
because it can hide bugs. Always
If the
catch
operator
specific
is plus,
exceptions. 2.
we add
Catch
num1
specific
and
exceptions
num2,
to handle
store the
different error
results,
scenarios. This
and
allows
print it
for
to the
more
screen.
precise
The
error
break
handling.
means
For instance,
the
catching
program
found
starts
not
checking
found
for
exception
further
allows you to
cases and
take
exit
specific
the switch
actions
block.
if a
We
found
come to
is
the
missing.
minus
While
sign,
catching
the
IOU
subtraction.
exception can handle
This
other
operator
input
will
or
subtract
output
num2
errors.
from num1,
3.
store the
Log
results and
exceptions
print
for
it,
debugging or
similar to
operational
the case
purposes.
class.
It's important to log
When it
exceptions
comes to
so
the
that
case
developers can
multiplication,
understand what happened
we
when the
multiply the
exception occurred.
numbers num1, num2,
4.
store
Don't
the results
suppress
and print
exceptions. Avoid
it.
empty quote blocks. Avoid leaving empty
Last
quote
operator,
blocks
that's
or
line
swallowing
51.
exceptions without logging them, as it can make debugging more difficult.
If the
5.
operator,
Use
if
custom
this
exceptions
operator,
to
the
provide more
division sign,
meaningful error
we check if
messages.
num2
Custom
is
exceptions
not
provide
0
more
to
clarity on
avoid
what
dividing
went
by
wrong,
0. If
improving
it's not
code
0, we divide
readability and maintainability.
num1 by num2 and print it,
Conclusion: Exception
and print the
handling
results.
is a
If
powerful tool
num2
in Java for
is
managing
0,
errors
we
and
print an
preventing
error
programs
message.
from crashing
So if num2
unexpectedly.
is 0, we
By
print an error
understanding the
message.
difference
If
between
it's
checked
not
and
0,
unchecked
then
exceptions
we are
and
going to
knowing
perform
whether
our
and how to use the try-catch,
calculation.
finally, through and throws mechanisms, you can write more resilient and reliable
Defaults,
Java
line
applications.
58.
Following best practices for
Default,
exception
no,
handling
sorry,
can help you
line
keep the code
59 rather,
clean, easy to maintain, and
the line
error
59.
resistant. So now let's come to
The
our
default
code.
over there also explain if the user entered an invalid operator, something other than plus, minus,
So this is
multiplication
an
or
example
division.
of
This default case is executed
exception
and the
in Java
program prints an
code.
error.
This is an example,
Scanner.close. We close the scanner to free up resources. It's a good practice to close
and this is an
resources when
example
they
of the
are
try
no
block.
longer
It
needed.
contains the code that may throw an
So
exception.
this is how
In this case,
I coded my
dividing
calculator. So now let's
n
run
by
it and
0
check
will throw
to
an
see if they are
arithmetic
working.
exception. And when we come to the cat block, handles the exception. The arithmetic exception is specifically caught and a message is printed. If there are outer types of exceptions, you can add more cat block for those catches. And the meaning of finally block. This block always executes regardless of whether an exception was thrown on or not. It is typically used for cleanup operations like cruising resources. So this is an example of exception in Java. So now let's run our code.
So now let's try with example. So let's enter any number. Let's say 10. Now enter operator plus, minus, multiplication, division. So you enter the operator that you want. Let's take plus. You press your enter. Then you type another number. Let's say 5. Then you press your enter. So 10 plus your 5 will give you 15. So let's do another one for the subtraction. So 10 minus 5 has given us 5. Another one for so 10 multiplied by our 5 will give 50. So let's do 10 divided by 5 has given us our 2. So let's try another example. 10 divided by
So this
our
is an
0.
example of exception
it has
in
created
Java.
error division by 0. So you cannot divide the 10 by 0. That's what it has printed. So thank you. Thank you very much.
So
Thank you very much for
this is the
watching
end
my
of my
video.
presentation. My name is Tochi Richard. Goodbye.